guys, this is Liam here, and I'm going to be reviewing a Robot Spirits figure for the first time. Starting with my personal favorite mobile suit of all time, the Gundam Mark II. Now, you know what the Gundam Mark II is supposed to look like, and if you're wondering why this Mark II is colored green and all that, it's because I custom painted it as if it were my own Ace unit colors. But in terms of which version of the Mark II this originally is, in terms of the figure, it's the Robot Spirits Gundam Mark II Titans version from the Version anime line of Robot Spirits figures. A second, I'm going to move my chair closer. Yeah. Sorry about that. Anyway. But yeah. The custom colors I used to paint this were two different types of Gundam markers. I painted the green details with a Zaku green marker on the majority of the body, and did a few extra on the I don't know how you say it, it's more smaller detail areas, I guess. And basically a white gold color. Give me a sec. Let me just get my marker set. Hold the two markers I used. Okay, one of them is from so the light Zaku green is from this set of Gundam markers that I used, which is GM 37 light Zaku. Zaku light green is what I used for the green parts. And as for the shiny gold parts that I used this Gundam marker here. And it says XGM07 white gold. So yeah, those are the two colors that I used to make my own personal Ace unit Mark II colors. As if it were my own Ace unit that I was piloting. And I also did the same for a Mark II Gunpla, which is this right here. Although I have not painted the high grade Gunpla's armaments yet, though. I'll have to get on that at some point. But yeah. Anyway, let's start with the accessories that it comes with. And I'll start off with these accessories that are leftovers that I didn't use on this figure or painted. Let's see. Okay, so if you don't know what these numbers on these are for, they're basically to signify which unit number of the three units of. Okay, so basically in Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam, there were originally 3 Gundam Mark II units developed by the Tyrannical Titans faction. Basically these numbers are used to signify which unit they are of the 3. And according to the lore, there was Unit 1, which was supposed to be piloted by Jared Mesa. Unit 2 was supposed to be piloted by, I think it was Kakarkon. Then Unit 3 was supposed to be piloted by M-Machine. But then later on in Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam, the AUG stole the 3 Mark II units from the Titans. And in the lore, they sent off Unit 1 and 2, I think. Well, they sent out 2 Mark IIs out of the 3. I think it was Unit 1 and 2. Onto a facility for them to get basically dismantled and have their inner frame called the movable frame to be researched. And the only way for them to research it at the time was just to take those 2 Gundam Mark IIs apart in order to see the inner workings of the movable frame, and therefore, gain more insights on how to develop better mobile suits in the long run. But anyway. But yeah. And if you're wondering why the 010 why the 01 part's not here, is because they were on this Mark II when I painted it. and there was no like blank one of the, there was no like complete blank numberless one of these parts. So yeah, I had no choice but to paint over one of the unit numbers sets of parts here on this. But yeah, anyway, and it also comes with an extra V-fin shaped antenna that goes on the forehead for in case it comes with an extra of that in case you like break or lose like one that's already on the figure. Then you have one to replace it, and it also comes with this little whatever the heck this is. I don't know what it's called, but a lot of people I see reviewing these call it a hand tree or something, I think. But this basically just holds all these extra hands here on it. Anyway, as for the accessories that I use most often with this kit, like not counting any of these. Let's see, let me just sit my phone back down here. A little sand. Yeah, basically I'm using this little stand here on top of a Gundam box to try and record this. Anyway, as for the accessories here, and I basically separated all the accessories that are attached to one another to like give you guys a full proper like review that I can of all of them. Let's see, we'll start with the shield. This is the Gundam Mark II's shield, and it may not look like much at first just by looking at it like this, but there's actually like a little gimmick in here where you can basically do like click this part down, then slide the shield up to make it smaller. And why would you want to do that? Well, let me show you with one of these adapters. And this one comes with two adapters. This folding adapter. Yeah, it's like anyway, it comes with this like standard shield adapter that goes onto one of the arms. And this is the one, but this folding adapter is the one that I use most, because it offers extra like range of like movement and mobility with this thing. Like, see right here? That's the adapter folding open and closed. Therefore, basically giving you more range of movement with the shield. Anyway, and as for why you might want to shrink it down, shrink down the shield at some point, is for just in case you want to have the shield on the arm, but you also want a beam saber in the hand of the same arm or something, for example. And with the shield fully like extended out, you wouldn't be able to really have the Mark II swing his beam saber around much in that arm. But with the shield now shrunken down, you can have free range of using the beam saber there, pretty much. Anyway, as for the other gimmicks of the shield is that it can store two of these beam rifle E caps on it. If you don't know what E caps are, basically they were a concept introduced in Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam, which is the sequel to the original Gundam series, and basically they're basically an ammo clip magazine, but with beam energy instead of physical actual bullets. Let's see, and I forgot which way these go. Hang on. Gotta find the manual. Or at least, hang on a sec. Wait a minute. Let's see here. Wait a minute. Oh, I see another Mark II model that I have right here. I can use that as a reference here. Okay, I see now. Alright, they go on. Let's sit back down here. Okay, these go on this way. Like this. Alright. And speaking of the E-caps, there's technically 3 in the package total, and one of them goes into the beam rifle itself. Like so. The beam rifle here has a sight that moves up and down. A little, I don't know what the heck part of the stock this is that moves up and down. And also a handle that moves up and down like this. And the beam rifle goes into the trigger finger hand. Let's see. Hang on a sec. Sometimes it's a little hard to put these weapons into the hands sometimes. Anyway, but yeah, like so. This is what it looks like holding the beam rifle with just one hand. And I think, yeah, I can also double hand the beam rifle as well. Kind of like this. Hang on. There we go. Like this, for example. Alright. And next up for the ranged weapons, there's the Gundam Mark II's Hyper Bazooka. That comes with 2 of these rocket ammo magazines. And you can have both of them on this figure at once by putting one of the magazines into the bazooka, and the other one just putting this little lid on top of the other magazine and clipping it onto the side skirt. Like, onto the side skirt, like, come on. There we go, like this. And as for Hyper Bazooka, you can technically have the Mark II dual wield the beam rifle and bazooka. And even with the shield attached, apparently. His robot figures are kind of nuts with their articulation and posability and even weapons usability. At least that's my opinion, anyway. That's what makes them pretty cool, though, at the same time. Like, somewhat ridiculous, but cool at the same time. But that's just my opinion. Anyway, kind of like this. But another way you can, but if you don't want to use the bazooka, like, but you still want to have it on the Mark II, there's an option for mounting it on the back skirt by opening these 2 points up and then putting the bazooka on like so. It can go on either way. Oh, and I forgot to mention with the beam rifle, you can also store the beam rifle on the side skirt as well. For if you don't want to use that, if you don't want to use the beam rifle, but you want to have it on the figure still, then you just clip it on like this. And yeah, now it's fully decked, well, almost fully decked out on its ranged weapons. And then finally for the ranged weapons, we have this head-mounted Vulcan pod. And honestly, in terms of like, when the Mark II was being created in the lore, I don't understand why they decided to go with the head Vulcan pod extra piece that has to be mounted on the head for use, instead of having full-on built-in head Vulcans like the classic Gundam. This one does not have built-in head Vulcan guns. Instead, it has this external, like, machine gun pod that goes onto the head for use. Let's see if I get this on right. Let's see here. Yeah, it looks like I did, I think. Oh, you know. Yeah, I think that should do it. Anyway. But yeah. Oh, crap, dogs are barking. I'll be right back. Sorry about that, guys. Just had to open the door for Mom's friends to enter the house. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah. In terms of the lore for the head Vulcan pod, I honestly, like for the Gundam Mark 2, I honestly don't understand why they went with this route. Instead of just having the head Vulcan machine guns built into the inside of the head, like the classic Gundam does. Like, if you look very closely here, right, in that little dot, right around, hang on a sec, I get us something to point it with. Sorry, I see this one, just gonna borrow your music thing. Okay, like, right around here and here. Those two little dot holes, yeah, those are the ARC 7882 Classic Gundam's actual built-in head Vulcan guns, without needing an extra attachment on the head. But with the Mark II, I don't understand why they went with requiring an extra attachment for a machine gun head-mounted weapon. I don't know why. To me, that just seems like a bit of a flawed design, like in terms of practicality. Especially since that classic Gundam that I just showed especially since the classic Gundam came before the Mark II. Like, this is meant to be like better than the classic ARC 7882 Gundam in every way, but yet they went with that route, which in my opinion is kind of a bit of a flaw. Like in terms of like design with the Mark II, in terms of practicality, especially since it also kind of bulks up the head a bit to the point where it sort of messes up the head movement a tiny bit, given how wide the head is with the Vulcan pod attached, kind of limiting the mobility a tiny bit. But anyway, that's it for the ranged weapons. Now for the melee weapons, it has two beam sabers, which attach into the backpack up here, like, oh, wrong way. So let me, like, there we go, like that. Oh, shit, I fell. Hang on a sec. Okay, just gotta, okay, there, now it's not falling out this time. Alright. And yeah. And as for the effect parts that come with it, there's, let's see, there's two of these beam saber blades and one of this beam saber blade. Not entirely sure why there's a curved beam saber blade like this. It just looks really comical and goofy to me. A little too comical, if you ask me. To the point where it's goofy. But that's just my opinion. I don't really know what it's for myself anyway. But whenever I want to use a beam saber effect part, I mainly just use these straight beam effect parts. And as for how they go in the hand, just by sliding in like so. Alrighty. Ready to do some slashing at enemies. Like, or something like that. Anyway. Let's look at this other beam saber attached in the backpack. I start with the blade. There we go. Alright. Come on. Weird. Why isn't that gray peg going into the handle? There we go. Okay. But yeah, there's basically two pegs into each of these little parts of the backpack here. One gray joint here that goes into the part where the beam saber blade comes out of the beam saber, and one that goes into the middle, like into this middle hole of the beam saber right here. Anyway, that's for the remaining effect parts. There's these two parts that go together to form this little beam rifle shot effect part. And I forgot to show that with the beam rifle. So I should have shown that with the beam rifle while it was still in the Gundam's hand. But yeah. A sec here. There we go. And with that, the Gundam can go all that good stuff with the beam rifle. But anyway, let's see here. And now, finally for this thing, finally for the accessories of this thing, there's these hands, which Robot Spears figures always come with. They always come with these extra hands. Like for a variety of different poses or whatever. Anyway, as for the articulation of this thing, let me just remove all the equipment off first so you guys see the full articulation of this thing. Okay, as for the articulation, the head oh wait, I got some of the Pokemon button. But yeah, the head, starting from the head down, the head goes side to side a little bit here, but the Vulcan pod attached it limits it quite a bit from side to side. But it can still go up and down, and can do, I think, yeah, it can do the full spin. Then for the arms, you have the 360-degree spin as well. Arm can be raised like this. Got a bicep swivel. Got double jointed elbows that go up to here. You got a wrist joint in the actual forearm. And you got a bone joint that goes into the hand. And another cool gimmick with the arms is that basically, in a kind of a weird gimmick too. So you can do this with this little joint here that's built into his torso. And basically giving you a hell of a lot more range of movements with the arms than normal. Anyway. And then as for the torso, got a ab crunch, back crunch, and I don't know what that's what you call it when like moving to the back, but oh well. Anyway, and the two sides of the chest go in and out like this. Then for the backpack, there's you can move the beam saber holders in the backpack like this, etc. And then there's the thrusters. All four of them are on ball joints. Can move pretty much anywhere where the ball joint can allow them to move to. As for the skirt armor, starting with the back, can open this compartment. This compartment opens like this for holding the bazooka. Other than that, does not do anything else on the back. The side skirts go out this way, allowing for the Gundam R2 to do the full splits here. And then the front skirts go front about that far, giving you a really big, good kick right there. And yeah. Pretty high kick, not gonna lie. Wonder if you can do a kick leg. Yo, yeah, really good range of movement there. Anyway, as for legs, as well each leg itself, let's see. They go up. They go forward that way, about that far. They go forward about that far, back this far, out to the side all the way to the full splits. And has double jointed knees with cool armor separation gimmick here. And and I forgot to mention, in order to swap the unit number parts out, basically had to detach the shoulder armor, one of the knee armors, and the back skirt armor. For the knees, you can technically detach both knee armors on the Gundam Mark II. So you can put one of the unit numbers on any side you want. Whether it be here Come on. Let's see. A sec. Whether it be on this side or this side. Sometimes it's hard to put these on. Anyway. And then here's another shoulder. And here's an example for the shoulder, like so. And then for the back skirt, just put this on here, like so. There we go. And yeah, that's basically how you swap the unit number parts on this thing. Just gotta put these extra parts. Just gotta put my custom painted parts back on. Alright, and there we go. Alright, now back to the leg articulation. I already went up to so far the knee articulation, but now for the ankles, yes, can go here to here, side to side, like here to here. And it's also got ankle armor here that moves up and down like so, a little bit. Not very much though. And then finally for the feet itself, there's a toe joint, like front toe joint that moves up like so and down like this, just a very tiny bit. Then there's the back toe joint which goes down like this. Useful for like doing like flying poses or whatever, like, or something like that. Oh wait, I forgot to also, speaking of flying poses, I forgot to mention these back parts for the backpack. Yeah, these thruster, it comes with two thruster back parts that can be used like, kind of like this, or, oh shit, man, come on, dang it, and like this, or like this, and yeah. Basically, also useful for flying poses. But yeah, and that pretty much covers both the effect parts and pretty much, I guess, the articulation of this thing. And overall, I give it a, like, if I was to rate it anything out of 10, I'd give it a solid 10 out of 10. Like, pretty much perfect 10 out of 10 here. One, mainly because I'm a little biased to the Mark II, but it's also because they did really damn good job with the engineering of the articulation of this thing, and they made it pretty spot on for an anime accurate thing, in terms of proportions even. But yeah, overall I think this figure is pretty good. I just gotta get to stand up properly here. There we go. Alright, and that is pretty much it for the review here. Just gonna put this little hand on Mark II. Alright. Alrighty, and yeah. Just trying to get the Mark II to way by for now. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the little review I did here. If you guys enjoyed and want to see more, and well, I mean, like, if you guys want to know when I upload more new videos, you can subscribe to the channel, and if you like this video, click the like button. And that's all for now. See y'all next time. Bye bye.